Well, we're finally here, folks. After not major delays, but some delay because of COVID, we have finally made it to the second season of Avenue 5. Now, a long time ago when the first season came out, I was super pumped for it. Armando Iannucci is one of my favorite creators out there. The guy makes some really funny stuff. Strictly my sense of humor is the stuff he makes. Veep was amazing. The Death of Stalin was amazing. The David Copperfield movie was really fun. So I'm like, he's doing a space show? And it's a ship where people pay to have fun, and it gets knocked off course and it turns into a nihilistic anarchist thing? Okay, I'm there. I loved the first season. It was one of my sleeper hits of that time. I'm like, I can't believe they made this. It feels like it shouldn't exist. And then I'm like, are we getting a second season? Got delayed because of COVID. Now here we are, 8 episodes later of the second season, and I can safely say this: it surpasses the first season. This show is so freaking funny. And I don't think it's one of those shows where it's like it doesn't give you a second to react to the joke, because we move to the next scene and somebody else is saying something funny. It's just coming at you a mile a minute. These people who are broken and destroyed and on the brink of insanity at every moment. It is so chaotic in all of the right ways, where it's like, okay, these people have been knocked off course for 8 years. They are running low on food. They are running low on just political deposition, and they're just going to break everything and go crazy at any second. They are thrusting people into positions they shouldn't be in, and on top of that, there's a missile coming for them. Now, I'm not going to spoil every major detail that happens this season, and I don't know if I can strictly sit here and tell you like every individual joke that happens. I can say this: it's one of the funniest shows this year, and it's so specific in its humor, where it's just kind of dreadful, where it's like, if you don't like people making jokes about like their impending doom, it might not be the show for you. But it's just so creative and funny, and goes into so many unexpected rabbit holes. And I love that. I love an episode that's just people scared for their lives, so they just freak out and turn into chaotic beasts. I love that. They did this entire episode about an election cycle right around the time a major election was happening in the world, and it is just the most insane thing to ever happen. What was like the thing that came out of it? This might be like the next episode, but it's like, we're stronger when there's more of us. When there's more of us, or something like that. It's like, the more of us there are, the stronger we are. It's something so stupid. It's such a funny show, and it just gets itself so perfectly. Every little joke lands, every little character moment lands. Some intense character work here. One of the things I just love about this show, because it feels like it shouldn't happen, is just every character just completely in love with you, Laurie. Like, suddenly this middle-aged balding man who is sweating his way through every scene is like the hunk of the ship. Like, more than one person's after this guy sexually. There's like 4 of them this season. I'm like, okay. Oh, the line was, "Together there are more of us." That was the line. I'm like, yeah, that's funny. That is strong and good. And just like the other stuff that they go onto a prison ship where there's evil people, the subplot of a cannibal getting aboard, it is hilarious. It is creative. And there's this other kind of like running plot thread of just like turning the tragedy that they are like experiencing into like a hit TV show, so people of Earth can experience what they're doing, but through like this really bad like lens. Oh, that's also just hitting the nail on the head, man. It's great. This show is so funny. And I'm just going to sit here and talk about how clever and creative it is. I'll never do it justice. Like, every single thing about this works. It's interesting that Josh Gad does this. I know that's really weird to say. He's very selective of his roles, I find. But the fact that he fits so perfectly into this world as an Elon type, and it feels like it's authentic and real, again, very specifically making jokes that would fly today about a future world, that is really creative, very smart. A show like this takes a lot of chances, and they all pay off. Just nihilistic humor, which is really fun to see. Just people like, what are we doing here? Why is this happening? How is any of this going to go? When people just break out into anarchy and chaos, you don't see it better than you do on this show. Every single thing just works perfectly. Every single moment is fantastic. So clever, so fun. It just feels like a show that would slip under the radar if it wasn't like on HBO, if it wasn't Iannucci, if it wasn't like these big things pushing it. It just feels like it'd be forgotten to time. It's got like Community vibes to me, where it's like it's such a specific sense of humor that maybe it's gonna like push some people away, but the more you start to think about it and the more it like hits that cultural touchstone, it's going to expand and just capture more people's imagination and just keep everything flowing and building. I hope that's what it does, because this show is seriously ahead of its time. I feel like we are in the point where it's getting there. And maybe that's why the second season has landed a little bit better than the first season, is because, we're finally at this point where this kind of idea feels like it's possible and plausible, and we're seeing like the deconstruction of human civilization happen before our eyes. So watching it play out on a spaceship, it makes sense and it's believable. Every character is fantastic. Every piece of directing is fantastic. Again, it's a dialogue-heavy show, so I can't really just like sit here and read off lines of dialogue to you, but it's brilliant. And it's fun, and there's nothing else like it on television. I'm gonna sing the praises of Avenue 5 probably for the rest of my life, where I'm just like, you had to see it at the time. Even if you didn't, there is something completely unique and special about this show. You don't get this flavor that much anymore, and when you get something like this, it's cool. And look, any show that's like Hugh Laurie's a snack, okay, I'll take a bite out of that, see what you got for me. I just find that amazing. It just amazes me that it's like, yes, he's the captain. Yes, he has an accent, but everyone's like, I could go for a little slice of that Captain Ryan. I think that's hilarious. Very specific joke. But Avenue 5, Season 2. Are we getting a Season 3? Oh boy, I hope so. We deserve it. I am going to give a 9 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Hive. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.